Today we're going to be talking about 5 ways that you could get more playtime. Now, the first thing that you need to do to be able to get more playtime is learn how to ask for more playtime. Now, everybody always throws that cliche like, oh, I don't want to be, that player or one of those parents that, is asking the coach or telling the coach, hey, to play my son. I totally get that. And trust me, from a coach's perspective, we don't want to hear that either. We don't want to hear from your parents. We don't want to hear from you saying how you deserve more playtime. How you want to go about it with your coach is you want to be as respectful as possible, but you want to ask him what you can do to earn more playtime. So let's say, for example, you're like just a backup player right now. And let's say, or maybe you're playing at a different position that you would like to. Let's say they have you at running back, but you want to play receiver. Or let's say you're a backup wide receiver. What I would do is I would go up to your coach, sit down with him, do it face to face. Don't do it over text. Don't do it over email, and just ask me, hey, coach, really appreciate everything. I was just wondering, like, what can I do or where do I need to improve to earn maybe a little bit more reps at practice or in a game? I'm totally willing to earn it, but what can I do or what can I improve on to earn it? And then honestly, guys, I don't think a coach will be upset with that question at all, because you're not telling him what to do. You're not telling him how to do his job. You're just simply asking him where you can improve. And chances are he'll give you a list of things you need to improve. Some of them may be true. Some of them may be not true, but you need to work on improving in those areas and then come back to him and be like, hey, coach, I improved in these areas. So do you think I could get maybe a couple more reps? Because he's going to remember that initial conversation you guys had. But that is how I would go about first thing, asking for more playtime. Now, also, fellas, if you are a quarterback or wide receiver and would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this off season, we're going to be coming out to 15 different cities across the U.S. for 2-day long QB and wide receiver camps, you guys. We're going to be coming out to San Francisco, California, Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Charlotte, North Carolina. They'll be heading out to Austin, Texas, Seattle, Washington, Chicago, Illinois. They'll be coming out to Las Vegas, Nevada, Newark, New Jersey, Birmingham, Alabama. Then we'll be heading out to Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Boise, Idaho, and finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. So guys, want some more information, want to learn how you can sign up, check out that very first link in the description below. We absolutely love to have you out there. Our camps will sell out probably within the next 2 to 3 months because we have officially released the schedule to everybody on all of our social media platforms. We've only been promoting this on YouTube for the last few months, so make sure you guys take advantage so you don't miss out on a spot. Now, the second thing that you could do to get more playtime, be reliable, you guys. I think so many people will miss practice because of appointments. They have a little bit of a cold or whatever the case may be. They'll miss practice because, certain family obligations, they go on vacation and then they come back and they're like, oh, I'm not getting any playtime. It's like, yeah, dude, you're not going to get playtime because you're missing practice. So you need to make sure it should be a priority. Off season, spring ball, summer ball, and especially during the season, you need to be at every single practice that is mandatory and even the optional practices. Because guys, honestly, when you get to a certain level of football, high level, high school, college ball, and you have a coach who gives optional practices, optional means mandatory. It's also optional if you want to play football and start this year. So you need to make sure that you're at every practice. Now, tip number 3, be willing to try a different position than your main position. So I think if you're like a wide receiver, for example, or let's say maybe you're like a running back and you're, because running backs, there can only be one. It's one of those positions where you can't have multiple on the field. But again, depending on the offense you might be in that situation. But let's say you're the backup running back and you're not getting many touches, right? You could honestly, if there's an opening at receiver, be willing to try some other position or be willing to maybe try something on defense if you're not emotionally attached to that position. I get it. Some of you guys have spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort into a specific position, and that's your position. That's what you want to play. That's fine. This advice isn't necessarily for you. But if you're a backup player and you really don't care, you just want to get on the field, dude, tell your coach, be willing to try another position. Hey, coach, this is how I would go about it. Tell him, make it about the team. Don't make it about yourself. Be like, coach, I feel like I could help the team win if I were playing wide receiver, if I were playing running back, or if I were playing defensive line. I was wondering what I can do to earn an opportunity there. And chances are he'll tell you, yeah, go. Because again, if you're a great athlete and you're a great player, but you're sitting on the bench, coaches want to utilize your talent. So I recommend that if you're not emotionally attached to a position. Now, tip number 4, execute on special teams, because that will increase the coach's trust in you. Guys, usually on special teams, they're really just looking for anybody who's going to fly around on the field, make plays, and be able to do their assignments. So let's say, for example, you're a player, you're a backup, and let's say you're on starting kickoff or starting kickoff return. You need to make plays on there. And if you could just focus on doing your job, every single player on special teams has a specific job, a specific responsibility. Just focus on doing that to the absolute best of your ability, because they're going to trust you. They're going to trust you with more responsibilities. Maybe they'll put you on more special teams. Maybe they'll give you an option on offense or on defense with your own special package where you can get in. But I'm telling you guys right now, executing your assignments on special teams will only make your coaches like you more, trust you more, and that will in turn get you more play time. Now, tip number 5 is going to be knowing your playbook as a whole, not just your own specific spot. So this is a great example. Let's use wide receivers, but this really could apply to any position on defense, I would say, any skill position on defense. defense, any defensive lineman, or any offensive lineman. Don't just know your own responsibility. So let's say you're the X receiver. You're the outside receiver on the left. You're always on the left, and you don't know a single thing about slot receiver on the left, slot receiver on the right, or the Z receiver. If you don't know those things, and let's say you get beat out at the X spot, but you probably are better than the two slots, if you don't know what you're doing, they're not going to put you in. You don't want to be one-dimensional when you're in one of those position groups. Let's use like an offensive line perspective. Let's say you're the right guard, and you have no clue what the right tackle does, or what the center does, or any of that. You're limiting yourself to only one spot. So guys, what I could recommend to you is know the entire playbook, everybody's responsibility, because if for whatever reason you're not starting at a certain spot, you maybe could get an opportunity at another spot, and at the end of the day, it's just about getting on the field and making plays.